Hey, what's up, guys? Johnny Con here, aka Not Such a Conqueror. Yeah, so some people were asking me what were my most intense necronomicon experiences. And it's interesting because last night um, I went to sleep with Nyarlathotep's sigil underneath my pillow. And this makes for some very interesting dreams. Um, yeah, so I was actually able to perceive his energy before I even went to sleep, just by having his sigil underneath my pillow. It's like I could feel his energy, like very stark, very very kind of like keep going at your own risk, if that makes any sense. And I had a lot of dreams last night, um, which is kind of rare in itself. You know, usually I only have one or two, if any, dreams at all, right? And I just remember just having dream after dream after dream after dream. But before I even went to sleep, I could like feel his energy, right off the get go. But anyways, some of my most intense experiences. Um, this one, I was given a chant by my friend, and he's kind of more into the Necronomicon than I have. Like I'm still pretty much like relatively pretty new, but he kind of gave me a chant to kind of be able to get in touch with Cthulhu's energy a little bit more. And you're supposed to do this chant as you're falling asleep. You're supposed to visualize Cthulhu's, his monolith underneath the ocean. Imagine the sigils. Imagine going into the ocean. And I was reciting this chant over and over, and it's kind of like it put me in a trance, almost like a self-induced sleep paralysis. And I could like have visions. I had visions of underneath the ocean, like it being lit up, like the sigils like kind of like lit up, you know. And another experience that I had, and that was off the get-go, and I've worked with Goetia, I worked with Jin, and granted, I've had sleep experiences with those, but I'm saying off the get-go, like these were like some very intense experiences that almost happened immediately as they started. Damn, I got bags underneath my eyes. um Another one that I had I tried a dream incubation from the same friend. um he did an incubation, I think, for Cthulhu as well. And I fell asleep and I had a very intense dream. And it was kind of a life or death experience in nature. And I've talked about this before. Kind of like I was walking like a plank in the sky. And I had the chance to. No, I didn't even have the chance. It was kind of like I had to keep walking the plank up high in the sky. If I fell off, I would die. It was very intense, just like the feeling that I had from it. And when I woke up, I swear to you, and actually, the spot where I'm sitting at right here, the bed, it's right here. I saw an apparition, and I'm all like, "Cthulhu, is that you?" Because I didn't know, I didn't have an idea of like what Cthulhu was at that point, right? And it just looked at me, and it just disappeared. Um, what else? I had some where I've slept with the sigils of the 50 names of Marduk. You could find those in the actual Necronomicon or the Necronomicon spell book. I fell asleep, I think, with what they call the kindest name in the Necronomicon. I think it's Barakakushu. Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't quote me. It might be him. But one of the kindest names of the 50 names of Marduk. I fell asleep, and I had like a vision of Mesopotamian architecture, kind of like a cavern buried somewhere in the earth or something. Kind of like That building you see in the last Indiana Jones movie, The Last Crusade, I kind of saw that like in a cave or something. Not that structure, but kind of something similar, like in a cave or somewhere buried deep beneath the earth. And I thought that was interesting. You know, like I know people say that the Necronomicon is bogus, but I think H.P. Lovecraft tapped into some ancient knowledge, and maybe what he decided to name it in his books is actually like something else. You know, like Cthulhu. I think I heard somewhere that Cthulhu is like Hades' energy. I think, or a Nyarlathotep. You know, is maybe an actual Sumerian deity. You know, whatever it is. I mean, just imagine when the Necronomicon was out there in all this time. You didn't have all these occult books, but you might have had the Necronomicon being presided over with actual magic put into it. You know, a thought form was created, or it tapped into a thought form that was already existed. You know, and that's just my take. You know, some of my interesting experiences crossing into the Necronomicon gate. You know, I think tapping into Cthulhu energy is kind of like what helped me come up with my own book, The Art of Astral Warfare. If you're interested, it's on Lulu. No, but yeah, guys, you know, the Necronomicon current is no joke. But anyways, guys, that's my take today on the Necronomicon, and thank you guys. All right, I'll see you guys around. Peace.